grid. It is the race number 6 of this year's season, and out of the 5 races so far, we have had 4 different winners. That means there is one driver who has already managed to win twice, and that is actually the youngster Milan Vukovic. It was him who scored pole position this weekend here in Austria. His first pole position, having actually had his first race victory the last time out in Hungary, and he underlined that with yet more success in the race as he started from pole. He had a bit of trouble in the first corner, up there right behind me on the hill, but then managed to use the good top speed of his Renault Megane RS and hold on to the first place to actually then score his second victory of the championship. And Milan Vukovic, together with his dad Milenko, they had to skip the opening round at Oschersleben in Germany, but slowly they are getting into the championship fight that started among the Hyundais of Yannick Motorsport and also Honda Civics of Mertel Motorsport. But we have got another local driver who is actually going to start on pole position. Yesterday's race winner, Milan Vukovic, got to draw a number to determine how many positions will get reversed for the starting grid of race number 2, and usually it's between 6 and 10. So as the winning driver, you're trying to draw the smallest possible number so that the reversing order gets you not that far down the grid. But unluckily for him, it was the number 9 that he picked out of the hat. That means that yesterday's race winner, Milan Vukovic, will be on the grid all the way somewhere over there, maybe in a different city in P9. But it's promoting local driver Philipp Dittrich on pole position. He's only joining the grid for this round, and he will take the home pride and will start from pole position. Honestly, it was originally actually supposed to be another Austrian driver, Tobias Poschik, who was supposed to start from pole. He was him in P9 over the line. However, Tobias Poschik was then penalized for a, let's say, unfortunate incident with Adam Colt in the race. The drivers discussed the situation after the race. Both of them said, hey, it's actually no issue for me, no issue for me. Even Adam Colt said, yeah, I actually thought that that was no unsporting maneuver from Tobias Poschik. Either way, the race stewards deemed that as unsporting maneuver, and Tobias Poschik was penalized. He will start P11, and it is his countryman Philipp Dittrich who will join us on the grid here on pole position. And let's actually turn our attention to the arriving cars. We've shown you the hill of the Red Bull Ring, but now we have got the TCR machines getting ready for the race starting procedure, and we are awaiting the local youngster Philipp Dittrich with his team Wimmer-Werk Motorsport on the grid. Car number 71, the Cupra Leon, joining us. And let's hear from the man himself. It's a big task for him to be sat on pole in the Eastern European TCR for the first time. It is big weight on his shoulders. The run up to the first corner is not that long, so a lot can be gained, but a lot can be also lost. And let's hear from the man himself. Philipp, hi. Your home race, and you are on reverse grid pole position. That must be enjoyment, but also pressure. So what is your view before the race?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of pressure, but this weekend was very awesome for me. We achieved the 9th place in the first race, and now just enjoy the race. Let's have fun. Let's race, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, and best of luck for the race. Philipp Dittrich for you. Let's actually turn our attention to the other side of the front row, just as we've been shown the 3-minute sign, so we will have to leave in a couple of seconds. It's Carlo Cepiel on front row. Carlo, hi. You are again on the front row. The previous race wasn't the best for you, and you are carrying 30 extra kilograms in your car. It's a big uphill, downhill track. What are your expectations having started or starting from the front row?
Yeah, I'm very focused on the good start, and yeah, this race is not be easy, but I do my best.
Thank you so much and enjoy. Best of luck for the race. Behind Carlo on the second row of the grid, you've got David Kajaya and Sebastian Steibel and all the other cars. This one is supposed to be exciting, so let's get going in Austria.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tobias Boschik, Austrian racing driver, driving for Aditis Racing in the TCR Eastern Europe Championship, and today I'm going to show you around my favorite places of the Red Bull Ring. We're going to start off the track right here at turn 1. A really nice corner to drive, although you need to watch out at the exit not to cross the sausage curb and avoid getting penalized for track limits. Important as well is to use as much track as possible on the entry to compromise and carry as much speed through the corner as possible. We just arrived at turn 4, a really nice but difficult corner at the same time. The braking area is downhill all the way and the apex as well. So you really shouldn't miss your braking point, otherwise it will get difficult to hit the apex properly and get a good exit. So here we are now at turn 10, the last corner of the track. It's a very unique turn because you will never find something similar on any other track. It's very special due to its compression right in the middle. You have to hit it absolutely perfect, otherwise you will go wide on the exit and get the track limit penalty. And the entry is important as well. You need to watch out not to lose the rear, because the first steering input into the corner is on the curbs on the outside, which makes the car very unstable on turning. So those were my favorite places at the Red Bull Ring. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the race.
The cars are now on the formation lap, 4.3 kilometers here in Austria, the Red Bull Ring. Small but beautiful track in the scenery of the Styrian Mountains, and yesterday was sort of overcast and cloudy with the immense, well, let's say with the rain always looming over the track, but then it actually did rain quite heavily after we finished yesterday's program, and that's why it was also wet for the first races of today's program. But now you'll see that the weather is just getting better and better. Wonderful, beautiful, and the sun is out, the track is dry, and we are about to have a proper blast around this circuit. We've got a lot of cars on the grid, so we are in for an exciting end of the morning sessions, and right before the lunch break we are about to have a proper race of the Eastern European TCR, and we are very, very happy that you're together with us here today for the race number 2. Philip Dietrich on pole position for the first time in his career for the Eastern European TCR. Alongside him, Carlo Ceppiel, row number 2, David Kajaya and Sebastian Steibel. Row number 3, that's Giacomo Kermandi. He's doing well this weekend, and alongside him, Maggio Homola, still the championship leader, but carrying 40 kilograms on a track where the ballast is really not something you want to have, because there are big, big uphill climbs. That's not going to do him any favor. Then in P7, Milenko Vukovic, and P8, car number 8, René Kircher from Mertel Motorsport. That's currently the biggest championship challenger to Maggio Homola. He reduced his gap to the leader to the bare minimum, so it's going to be quite exciting. Maggio Homola, of course, as I mentioned, carrying the extra ballast. Milan Vukovic, yesterday's race winner in his Renault Megane with the yellow headlamps in P9. Alongside him, Petr Čížek, still waiting for his first victory in the Eastern European TCR. 11th place, Tobias Boschik, in Aditis Racing's Audi RS3. Alongside him, Croatian star Žarko Knego, row number 7. That's Adam Kout. Also unlucky in yesterday's races. He dropped down the order, and he is also, just like his teammates from Yannick Motorsport, carrying ballast. 30 kilograms it is for him, sitting underneath the passenger seat, well, basically instead of the passenger seat in his car, in his Elantra. And row number 7 completed by Petr Fulín Jr. Behind them, Dominik Haselsteiner, Antonio Citera, Adam Řepecký, Víc Mejkal, Sebastian Kolakovský, Ivar Svalers, Petr Gross, and then Radim Adamek, who had technical issues in yesterday's race, did not finish, but now he's lining up with the rest of the pack for the start of the second one. So the 22-strong field waiting for the lights to go off, and they are now. The race has begun with Philipp Dietrich starting from pole, but look at the Honda go, and also look at Sebastian Steibl go. Immediately it is David Kajaya into the lead from Sebastian Steibl, who's now on the inside of Philipp Dietrich. Dietrich trying to hold on at least to that second position. Both of the Megans are off the track into the off-track zone, which is asphalt, so not a lot of issues for them there. Philipp Dietrich losing the pace and still running alongside Sebastian Steibl. Down under braking we go into third with Germandi waiting for his chance for a P4. Carlo Cepiel dropped way down the order at the race start and is somewhere around P5. We've got Milenko Vukovic gaining places, so is René Kircher, so is Maťo Homola, but it is David Kajaya in the race lead from Sebastian Steibl, who is now definitively dealing with the pole man Philipp Dietrich and forcing him down the order. Philipp Dietrich now side by side with Giacomo Germandi in the fight for third. So there's the Aditis Racing's Audi in second. Behind him Dietrich. He has withstood the pressure from the Italian man. And then you've got the two Vukovic Motorsports Megane sandwiching one of the Yannick Motorsports Elantras. Should be Carlo Cepiel. I beg your pardon, the live timing screen still somewhat sleeping. But it is the car number 70, I believe, in between the Meganes now, if I see it correctly. And that would already mean Maťo Homola up front. Yes, he is. So Carlo Cepiel dropped even further down the order. Car number 32, only behind them. And not only them, but also there is René Kircher in the mix. So we have got David Kajaya leading from Steibl, Dietrich in third, Germandi in fourth, Vukovic, and that's Milenko Vukovic actually up front, the dad, Maťo Homola in sixth, and then Milenko's son Milan in seventh, René Kircher in eighth, and Giacomo Germandi trying to line up for a move, but he was a little too far behind. Lock up into the corner from David Kajaya, Adam Řepecký choosing an extra wide line through turn number 3. No bigger incidents on the opening lap. Petr Fulín, just like yesterday, losing places at the start, and he has dropped down to 15th for the moment. Adamek has dealt with the locals, with Petr Gross, and gained one position at the start. So has Víc Mejkal, so has Ivar Svalers. We've done the first 3 minutes, so the order is set for the beginning of the race, and still quite a lot of work up and down the order to be done to do something about their respective positions. There's a lot at stake for the championship development, which will, with this race, actually complete the first half of the season. Then we go into Slovakia and twice to the Czech Republic. Over and at the end of the summer period. Giacomo Germandi lining up for another move, and he's so late on the brakes, he completely missed the first corner, and he has to go off the track, and still keeps the... No, he's letting Philipp Dietrich back through. So Giacomo Germandi admitting that that was not the way to get ahead of your rival. He was really late on the brakes, dived on the first corner, but now Filip Dietrich brakes himself and leaves the door open for Germandi, but he didn't really manage to squeeze his car on the inside, and at the same time he's actually having to defend hard from the Megane of Milenko Vukovic. Mathieu Homola staying sandwiched between the French cars. Actually Swiss-built and developed French cars. Kajaya has already opened up a nearly 1.5 second lead. Cars number 14 and 25 under investigation for false starts probably. Yeah, jump start, and that's Petr Čížek and Tobias Posching running in 10th and 11th, pretty much keeping their places from the start, so no progress for them, and yet they are being now investigated by the race stewards. In the meantime, Milan Vukovic is exploiting the superior top speed of his Megane to move himself ahead of Mathieu Homola. That was Dominik Haselsteiner completely off the track behind Adam Koltin in front of Žarko Kniego, so that was the other Wimmer Werk Motorsport Cupra, the other one still holding on to third on his home soil. But the race is still going to be quite long, and this is going to be a lot of work for the young Austrian. In the meantime, Milenko Vukovic fighting out with Germandi. They touched, and they did good job not to lose it on the straight, but now Milenko Vukovic is facing the wrong way, crashing into Filip Dietrich, who's then losing more ground, and he's dropping behind Milan Vukovic. Milenko in trouble, and there is Milan Vukovic already through. So is Mathieu Homola on Filip Dietrich, who's got damage to his rear bumper. He was collected in that clash, and Giacomo Germandi, as a result, is also driving slower. Something happened between Germandi and Milenko Vukovic. They touched running up along the straight into the third corner, and very nearly got spinning. Germandi managed to collect it in the end, but Milenko Vukovic did not, and he crashed from behind into Filip Dietrich, which means that it's costing the Austrian driver yet 2 more places. And look at Sebastian Steibel. He's decided that David Kajaya's Honda Civic is not going to be faster today. So he's reeling him in, but the safety car is now out for the stricken car of Milenko Vukovic in the third corner. So the race is going to get neutralized. From this shot, it actually sort of looks like the fuel filler cap is open on the Filip Dietrich's car, but that's not the case. It's just a piece of hanging bumper, sort of crumpled that way. That gives it that image. And actually, if I'm right, the fuel filler cap in any way is on the other side of the car. So that was just a description of what it looks like to me right now. So that's been an exciting beginning for this race. We have got David Kajaya, a man with huge experience in the motorsport and also on the TCR Racing bill. He is now followed by Sebastian Steibel. And there is the car of Milenko Vukovic. The view of it is now obstructed from the camera by the flatbed truck, so we are unable to really assess the gravity of the situation. And there is the crumpled bumper on Philipp Dietrich's car. Most importantly for him, it's not rubbing against the tire, because that would be causing a slow puncture, and at some point potentially even a rather quick puncture. But if it's not rubbing against it, then he's pretty much in the safe, and it shouldn't really be that much trouble for him to run the car like that. So, Tobias Poschek is in the clear now. The investigation has not found anything against the regulations. That means that the Austrian's start was all okay. He is now in 10th place, having gained one position, of course, courtesy of the retirement of Milan Vukovic. Let's see that again. Yeah, Philipp Dietrich was just so lucky to escape that. I mean, yeah, he did lose 2 places, but that could have been a far, far worse one. It sort of brings back memories of last year. There was a terrible accident between Karol Wittke and Radim Adamek exactly on that spot, when Karol Wittke completely missed the braking point and crashed into the side, sort of T-bone Radim Adamek. That was a big, big shot. Both tried to escape that. Incident involving cars number 37175. Yes, that's of course number 71 Philipp Dietrich, 75 Milan Vukovic, and of course Giacomo Germandi, the car number 3. So the crash that brought out the safety car. We would really like to see that again, but sort of from the beginning, from the straight, because we only saw the result of the incident. And actually Milenko Vukovic in an uncontrollable car sliding into the back end of Philipp Dietrich, but that was only the result of what had begun a little before that, somewhere through the turn number 2. So actually in that very quick left-hander, that's where it all started, with Milenko Vukovic and Giacomo Germandi actually clashing wheels, running side by side next to one another. And now Milenko Vukovic's car is now being carried away to give us back into the green light conditions. Let's see once again. That's exactly what started it. You see the car's bumping wheels along the straight, and now look how it goes dancing for Milenko Vukovic. Did he get a puncture through that? I believe the front left is not really looking very healthy. And either the tire was simply punctured, or maybe he even got damage to his suspension. But it all started with those clashes with Giacomo Germandi. Safety car will come in this lap. We've still got a couple of minutes before that, because we are running the safety car. We are still currently exiting the first sector. But Vukovic and Germandi did bump wheels together on the straight multiple times. I mean, after the first hit, both of the cars were sort of sent dancing, and they just kept trying to correct it, and they always ended up correcting it into each other yet again, which caused them to ribbon along the straight even further. And yeah. It appeared that they bumped rear wheels, then front wheels again. And in the end, both actually managed to collect it, but something was already wrong on Milenko Vukovic's car. And as he jumped on the brakes, the car simply ran away from him, snapped away from him, and he was sent spinning into the car of Philipp Dietrich. So the safety car will come back into the pits now, and it is David Kajaya still in the lead of the race from Sebastian Steibel, Milan Vukovic in third. We do know the top speed advantage of the Megane, So is Milan going to do the same thing again? Is he going to use it to his advantage? There we go. Green flag being waved. Sebastian Steibl choosing a rather unnecessarily tight line into the last corner, and that's now dropping him into clutches of Milenko Vukovic at the restart. Also Filip Dietrich under pressure from René Kircher. And we are fighting into the first corner. Kajaya holding on to the lead from Steibl, Milan Vukovic, then Maťo Homola, Filip Dietrich, and René Kircher behind him. It is Carlo Cepiel and Giacomo Germandi, and then to top the top 10 it is Petr Čížek and Tobias Pošík. So there we go into third. Steibl getting closer again to David Kajaya. Dropping behind a little bit, Germandi wide out of turn 3. So still not gaining a place against Carlo Cepiel. And there is Adam Kout now. He's jumped both of the cars at the end of the top 10. So Adam Kout has got himself ahead of Čížek and Pošík. Pošík now also gaining one place. There is yet more bumping between the two Coopers of Dominik Haselsteiner and Petr Čížek. And Čížek's in trouble. He's not really getting going again. Finally, he gained some meaningful speed, but he's lost a couple of places. He's behind Pošík, behind Kout, behind Haselsteiner, and in the clutches of Petr Filip Jr. And there is René Kircher lining up for a move on Filip Dietrich. Down the inside he goes into the penultimate corner, and the German driver is now through. Kajaya still leading, but only by 0.4 of a second. Let's switch back to the shot of the race leaders. There they are. Steibl now trying to put pressure, but Milan Vukovic is running rather slowly on the start and finish straight, and he's being overtaken by Maťo Homola. This is crucial for Maťo Homola because this will mean more points for his championship challenge, but so is now his challenger, René Kircher, and Milan Vukovic is indeed in trouble. That Megane is not really going very fast. That's not the top speed we know from the Megane, and Milan Vukovic is now dropping down the order like a stone into the pond, and he might retire from this race. Something's not very right in the world of Vukovic Motorsport. Milenko is out of the race already, and Milan is dropping out of contention at the restart. And Steibl is trying to line up for a move on David Kajaya now. He had to choose the outside line. Sebastian Steibl still awaiting his first victory in the Eastern European TCR, but guess what? He sniffs the chance today. Around the outside he has to go yet again, because Kajaya, he has all the experience in the world and he knows where to place his car. So Steibl is going to have to come up with something else. But he has to do that quickly, because there is Maťo Homola closing in really quickly. Maťo Homola, even with the basket of bricks sitting alongside him, is getting closer. So Steibl now trying to slipstream behind Kajaya. Now he's going to leave it for the run up to turn 3. That's smart, but he missed the apex a little bit. That's going to drop his advantage a little bit yet again, but he's still slipstreaming behind the Honda, with the Hyundai getting closer and the other Honda as well. So now is the chance for Sebastian Steibl. Is he going to go for it? No. He was a little too far behind, but now into fourth. That's where it could all work out. Sebastian Steibl still right behind Kajaya. Maťo Homola very close behind them, appearing in the rearview mirrors. What is Sebastian Steibl going to do now? Is he gonna dive down the inside? No, still remaining behind Kajaya. Staying patient, but now he's trying it. Ooh, but Kajaya was expecting that switch back. You will not dummy Kajaya so easily, mister. But now he's trying to do exactly the same thing between the two left-handers. Kajaya still holding on to it. He has had TCR international drivers, WTCR drivers, TCR European drivers do that to him for years and years and years, so you will really not outsmart David Kajaya so easily. There they go through the remaining two right-handers and back onto the start and finish straight with 6 minutes and something left on the clock now. And we have got the top four closely together. So this is still anybody's race. Sebastian Steibel really close behind Kajaya, is giving him a kiss from behind. But they keep moving. And they are now running up the hill. Mathieu Homola has not really got himself in the mix, and he's now having to actually start watching his mirrors, because there's René Kircher, his championship challenger. Kajaya covering the inside line from Steibel. Steibel's trying for the switchback, but he had Homola on the inside. He couldn't really switch back so aggressively as he probably would have wanted. Philipp Dietrich still holding on the pressure from Carlo Cepil, but that's somewhere in the background. Steibel around the outside. He will now try the switchback again on the Honda. Is he or is he not? The heavy Hyundai is really not getting as close as Mathieu Homola would need it to. Steibel has got the pace. Ooh, he's now collected a little bit of dust. He just wiped the dust off the stones in the gravel trap. He's really right on the edge with his Audi. So through the right-hander we go again. Now this is where the basket of bricks helps Homola to go faster. Quite a wide line out of the last one, and he's now slipstreaming behind the Audi, but the Hyundai is not going to be that fast. Under braking we go. Maybe that's the key for Steibel, not to be that close to Kajaya into the first corner, but keep a little distance between them, between one another, for you to have a proper run through the first corner and then line up for a move. This is now shaping up to be a better attempt for Steibel. He's on the outside. Is he going to go for the switchback? He's got the Yannick Motorsport Hyundai on the inside. Another touch. Kajaya really stayed on the inside line, glued to it. He knows full well what Steibel wants to do. Steibel is going to come up with something else. He does have the pace to do that. But Kajaya has got the brains and has got the experience. But this is properly exciting in the second Eastern European TCR race. That one is a good one. We've still got 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in it. So through the final two right-handers we go again. Kajaya leading from Steibel, from Homola, from Kircher. 3 different cars, 3 different brands in the top 4. Kajaya is now gaining an advantage of 0.6 of a second. That is a lot for the moment. Black and white flag for the car number 82 for track limits. That is Wietsmeikal, down in 17th. And up the hill we go with René Kircher now, very close, perilously close to Mathieu Homola. That one is for the championship lead, actually. Yeah, but what happens in that fight? This is Philipp Dietrich defending from Germandi, and Cole attacking Chepiel. So the order unchanged in the top 4. Philipp Dietrich 5th from Germandi, and then the 2 Yannick Motorsports Elantras next to one another, with Tobias Poschig waiting to pounce. Philipp Dietrich holding on to it. Okay, but 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Let's get back to the action for the race lead. David Kajaya is now holding that key tiny little advantage. It just puts a little bit of breathing space for him. Now onto the start and finish, and onto the final one. With 1 minute and something left on the clock, this is the final lap of the race. Kajaya leading by 0.6 of a second from Sebastian Steibel. Mathieu Homola third, René Kircher in fourth. The whole top four is now covered by just something over 1 second, 1.3 seconds. But crucially, most of it goes to David Kajaya now. Steibel needs to get a good one out of turn 3 to get any realistic chance on David Kajaya. Underbraking into Rauchkurve. Down the hill we go. A tiny little mistake from Kajaya exiting that corner, and that is now bringing Steibel closer. But is it going to be close enough? All of the perfect spots for overtaking are gone now, so only the brave ones are left. Oh, and Gamandi is now under attack. That's the car number 32, that is Carlo Cepiel. Carrying those extra kilos, but let's switch back to the race lead because this is it, the time is up. And David Kajaya bringing all that experience to withstand the immense pressure of race 2 in Austria. And David Kajaya takes it home to score his first victory of the season. What a race that was by David Kajaya to clinch a victory here at Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring. Sebastian Steibel was piling on pressure. He was doing all he could, and it was a beautiful race from the young German as well, but he couldn't find the recipe to outsmart the experienced Georgian that stayed ahead of him, and David Kajaya takes a victory away from Austria, from Sebastian Steibel. Mathieu Homola comes home third, and he only had a lead of 2 points over René Kircher coming into this race, and 40 kilograms sitting needlessly alongside him. That was really putting him in trouble in all of the uphill sections and all of the top speeds. But Mathieu Homola himself also having great experience and knowledge and talent, make no mistake. And he withstood that immense pressure from René Kircher to extend that lead yet again. Because if he'd lost it, then René Kircher would have moved into the championship lead. And as we are watching the highlights of race number 2, we get the chance to actually calm our voices a little bit. This was the most dramatic incident of the race that put Milenko Vukovic out of the race and Philipp Dietrich off the podium, crucially, on his home soil. So that was an unlucky one for him. So David Kajaya victorious for the first time in the Eastern European TCR from Sebastian Steibel, who has done a great race, but that desired maiden victory still slipping through his fingers and not really coming to him today in Austria. But still, hats off to Sebastian Steibel. That was a properly good race from his side as well. Mathieu Homola comes home third. Great race from the Slovakian driver as well. And René Kircher in fourth from Philipp Dietrich. He had a great deal of bad luck in today's race. Quite a lot of drivers sort of teaching him a lesson of what it is like to start from that reverse grid pole. A lot of drivers sort of 0 for Vukovic.